I hadn't come here to start a fight. All I wanted was a quiet dinner, neutral ground, something that didn't reek of everything behind us. But she had this way of pressing directly on the spots that still ached, as if she'd memorized every bruise I'd spent years hiding. She blinked twice, pretending my words hadn't hit their mark. But they had. I saw it in the faint tremor running down the stem of her wine glass. She finally set her fork aside. What? What do you mean I wasn't on the guest list? I leaned back, let the silence stretch, let the truth settle between us. It means, I said quietly, I knew better than to invite someone who applauded the person who betrayed me. Her lips parted, ready to defend my sister, always ready to defend my sister, but the memory rose before she could speak. The first time I introduced them, my sister and the man I thought I'd marry, they laughed together like they'd been friends forever. I took it as a good sign. I wanted my worlds to blend. I wanted harmony. I was foolish enough to believe loyalty came naturally to everyone. He used to look at me like I was the safest place he'd ever found, like I was something solid in a world he couldn't trust. And I believed it. Of course I did. Back then, I believed a lot of things. My sister would tease me about how devoted he seemed. He's obsessed with you, she'd joke. And I'd blush, thinking obsession was just another word for love. Funny how obsession mutates the moment you turn your back. The early signs were soft, too soft for anyone but me to pick up on. A notification swiped away just a bit too fast. A joke they shared that left me on the outside. A look, a pause, a silent split between them. I wasn't paranoid. I was paying attention. Then came the night I walked into the kitchen and found them standing too close, her hand grazing his arm as she murmured something I couldn't hear. They leapt apart like children caught doing something forbidden. She giggled. He didn't. I said nothing. Not because I was weak, because I was gathering, observing, storing every detail. And then the proof arrived on its own. The universe has a way of timing these things. A message glowing on his phone in the dark. Miss you already. Her name beneath it. My chest didn't shatter. It hardened. People expect theatrics after betrayal, tears, shouting, a dramatic scene. I offered none of that. I moved through the house like it was a crime scene, and I was the detective noting every detail, every lie, every timeline, every chance they'd had. I slept beside him, breathing evenly. I smiled. I waited. Revenge isn't fury. Revenge is patience dressed in a quiet smile. My first move was financial, silent, clean, impossible to undo. Separate accounts. Redirected assets. Documented everything. He never noticed. He was too wrapped up in himself. My second move was social. I pulled myself out of our shared circles, leaving him exposed without the cushion of my presence. People liked me, respected me. Without me, his charm spoiled fast. My third move was the sweetest. I invited him to my housewarming last year. He declined, he already had plans with my sister that night. He didn't know I knew, but I held the party anyway. Half the guests were his friends, people who had always sensed something off about him. All it took was a few gentle, well-placed comments, a soft confession wrapped in calm sadness. I didn't accuse him. I didn't smear him. I simply let the truth breathe. He thought he was protecting a secret, but by the time the night ended, it was his reputation that had evaporated. 2 weeks later, he showed up at my door, eyes wild, demanding to know why everyone had turned on him. I just stared back, unblinking. You did that, I told him. You just needed someone to hold up the mirror. He unraveled right there. I watched each stage, denial, anger, bargaining, panic. It was almost artistic. My sister tried to defend him. Until she discovered he'd been cheating on her too, with someone else. Betrayers rarely choose a single target. She confronted him. He cracked. They ended, quietly, violently, inevitably. My mother swallowed hard. You should have told us. Why? I asked softly. So you could tell me to forgive her? Forgive him? So you could treat my pain like it was an inconvenience? She lowered her gaze. She knew I was right. I steadied my breath, feeling the last of the bitterness finally loosen inside my chest. I don't need to catch up, I said. I built my own life. I choose who belongs in it. She didn't say another word.